Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Friday Pre-Flight. We've got guests with us today. Normally, this is not a panel show. Normally, this is just you and I chatting in the chat and having conversation about media matters. But since the show turns 100 today, that's right, 100 episodes, we're going to have some guests. They're going to flow in and out as they can make themselves available or they lose their availability. So it should be a lot of fun. We'll start out with a quick introduction of the two gentlemen that are joining me first and foremost, of course.
My camera's down.
Mephisto, there you go. You briefly saw Mephisto. Of course, that's his avatar representation there. But Mephisto's been doing some great stuff. He has a great channel and a lot of fun on his live stream. Tell them about yourself, Mephisto, because there's going to be some people here that don't know who you are or what you do. So,
all right. Hi, I'm Mephisto. My channel is called Mephisto Movie Reviews, where I don't like the name, but whatever it is. But I am co-hosting a podcast called The Real McCoy with 2 E's. Where we invite people to go watch a movie and then come back to us and we break it down, we geek on it, and we kind of like do all the stuff, give you a little bit more of information about behind the scenes and all that stuff. And along the way, we have a few segments where we can interact with both our guests or with our chat, where it's just a little bit of more fun, levity, and a little bit of trivia on movies.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. It's a good show. I got a chance to be on the show. I had a lot of fun, and so do check out Mephisto's channel. I will add it to the description before the show ends, or I'll try to. And then of course we have Jacob here, or otherwise known as Society Reviews, joining us today. He is prolific. He works everywhere. He writes for everybody, and he watches a lot of movies himself. So what's going on there, my man?
Oh, there's a lot going on right now. I'm currently in the editing process for my She-Hulk review, which should be up momentarily here. And then as we were talking about right before we went live, there's a lot of things going on in the world of MMA right now, a lot of craziness. So just to follow you guys up, just for you guys that don't really follow mixed martial arts, there was supposed to be a pretty big main event card for the UFC that's supposed to happen tomorrow. Nate Diaz, who's like one of the biggest stars in the sport, and Khamzat Chimaev. Well, they get to the weigh-ins today, and Chimaev misses weight by about 7.5 pounds. So because he missed it by such a large amount, there's no way the fight's going to happen. So the UFC, as we speak, is literally shuffling their entire card right now in order to save this event. And I'm just getting like update after update right now. But I think they have to have some kind of a card set within the next like hour, maybe hour and 90 minutes here, or they might have to do some canceling, which I know would give Dana White a heart attack in real life. So yeah, kind of a mess.
We will definitely dive into that. I know a lot of people are fully engaged in the MMA community and all of these fights. I used to watch it a little bit early on and then just kind of fell out because I didn't have time to consume it all, especially the way the product has been growing. But the fact that you're here and you can speak intelligently about it, I think we can definitely make use of that commentary today. So these are the two wonderful humans that have joined us so far. We've got more folks on the way. Both of these gentlemen have a background in film, so you can discuss pretty much any film you want to. It seems like they both watch a lot. So we got some great chat happening in the chat. Thank you for that, and some super stickers just flowing in now. Let's take a look at those real quick before we get started. That way I don't miss them, because I have a habit of missing super chats. I want to say hi to all the folks in the chat, all of my wrenches, the members, every subscriber. You guys really do make the most of what I do, and I truly appreciate it. We are growing here, and it is appreciated. Big Raj is here with a $1.99 super sticker. It is his traditional thumbs up. Thank you for that, Raj. Thanks for being at the 6 Minute Daily this week. Saw you there a few times, including today. And then Ben Hennigar sends us $10 super chat saying, congrats on the 100th flight, my friend. Well, thank you. And I love that avatar. That's like one of my favorite things in the world. So beautiful pup. I have to say, I never anticipated doing a show 100 times. I never thought I would do a show 50 times. I thought nobody's going to watch me. Nobody's going to pay attention. Nobody's going to want to watch a show before like the main shows come on, like Friday Night Tights, right? And then, Friday Night Frolics and all these other big channel shows. And I was always like, is this something that people will engage with? And you know what? They have, and I thank you. So you guys are incredible. And gals, excuse me. All of y'all there. I'll say it that way. All of y'all are awesome. There you go. And you're incredible humans, and I appreciate it. So thank you for that, Ben. We've got another super chat that rolled in as well. Olaf von S sent one for 10 euros. Okay. Fancy money. Olaf sends a chat, says, indeed, a happy 100th pre-flight culture. Well, thank you for that, Olaf. And thank you for your support and your contributions and keeping me up to speed on what's going on in your country, because it's bonkers. So
we got something big happened there yesterday.
Huh?
Something big happened there yesterday.
He lives in the land of crazy. He's been sending me stuff about, these farming protests and kind of keeping me up to speed on some inside baseball stuff when it comes to some bad behavior by executives, in some of these European shows, especially a European talent show. Rad Entertainment, check it out. It says tickle that like button. Yes, please. Thank you for that. Watching football. That's right. Football is beautiful. Speaking of beautiful things, we have another guest joining us right now, a brother of mine that joins me on the regular, hanging out over at Comics Division. It is Nick Weiser with feedback.
Hear me?
You were very feedbacky, my friend. Very feedbacky.
I'm on the road right now, so I won't be here too long. So,
okay.
How's everything going here? Looks like the show just started.
It did. We just got it fired up. The original plan to get started early did not work out. But, I'm glad you're getting a chance to stop by. You might want to see if you can clean up your phone signal, because it really has a high-pitched ring the entire time. It
sounds like he's talking from a train right now.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like there's an alarm going off behind you, Nick.
Could be all the trucks in back of me. That's literal. I'll shut off my mic until I get into a better.
Sounds good. All right, thanks, Nick, and thanks for joining us today. Like you said, I'm in the process of adding the guests today to the stream, but we cleaned it up, folks. So he's on the road in space. That's right.
On the road again.
Like a tornado alarm, or
an
intergalactic battle happening in the background.
Unsub. I didn't know Nick's mic was broken, guys, or whatever's going on there. There we go. Thanks for all the lovely wishes. We've got sending me a super sticker. Thank you for that, dear. You are amazing. I appreciate your support. And as always, she always sends a diamond. Thank you. So, Channel Surf, the best mustache, the best mustache on YouTube is here. Channel Surf, good to see you, my friend. Rad Entertainment says, I don't care what Tom Connor says about you. You're the best. Nick, your feedback is terrible, man.
Sounds like one of those auto trucks from Logan.
It's very weird, right?
It sounds like a collect call from hell. That's what it sounds like.
Oh, Gap Stargate's like that's the you were trying to dial the Stargate. What, you trying to bring Nick across? Is that what you're doing? Hey, there's Tom. What's up, brother? Good to see you.
All right, I'm gonna try and fix my camera again, so I'm gonna step out and step back in.
All right, man. Sounds good. Let's see. You know what? We talked a little bit about the passing of the monarch, the queen in England, and I know that there's limited interest in that here in the States, but it was a significant moment, and I feel like that's something. Mephisto's back. I feel like that's something that I don't think any of us have been without in my entire lifetime. The queen was the monarch, and I find it fascinating. So,
I was in the UK about a month ago. Wow, it's been that long. Doing a little bit of a meetup with my co-host, and also was a part of a meetup that was happening since 2016, sort of like the what Nerdrotic and what Geeks and Gamers do, but it's more more of a one person thing. And I can see on your sides where I can hear people from the fellowship saying, well, we found new people. Finally, I found this guy from chat. And it's been happening to me since 2016. I don't go every year because I can't, but it's something that immediately kind of clicked for me where, yes, people should do more of these meetups. And it's not to like, okay, see Gary and meet Gary. So that's like the first meetup. And for people who are going to come for the second, maybe the third, maybe the fourth, it's not going to be about Gary or Jeremy or Ryan. Doesn't really matter. But it's going to be the people you've met and you've talked to maybe in chat. Maybe later you're going to talk on a Discord. Maybe you're going to meet up somewhere on like WhatsApp. Like I've got like 2 or 3 WhatsApp group with other people where it's literally you share everyday things that happening to you in real life, and it creates friendships across. For you, it's across state lines. For us, it's across the sea sometimes.
Yeah, you get to meet incredible people like this guy here. His name's Tom from Midnight's Edge.
Met him.
Midnight's Edge.
He was on the show.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, if he looks at his chat, there is a DM group that you are in where the link. I don't know why he does that.
Maybe he doesn't like Twitter that much.
Culture wants
Thanks,
Tom.
Papa.
It's Mexican Iron Man who misses. It's Mexican Iron Man who always misses.
I try to get Mexican Iron Man on these things. He's just really, really busy.
Ooh. You hear that, Mike? It's on you now. It's on you.
He's had plenty of invitations. Toxic Man flew for $10 his 100th episodes of the pre-nap. I met Culture in person in Vegas. I still haven't washed the hand that touched the first touch the weave. You mean my hair? All right. All right. And there's but circling back, getting the opportunity to meet up is incredibly important, as Mephisto was saying, and I think that we should all take advantage of that because time is fleeting. We don't know when we're going to see each other.
Well, my camera's fucked up. Never mind. The one thing I say to a lot of people, a lot of like first timers that I see in chats and stuff, if you have a chance to go. Even if it's scary, it's solo. Most of the people online tend to be recluse or not outgoing, that sort of thing. It's really important to take that plunge. And I've seen it with a few people. I literally influenced this girl. I didn't know she was from Minnesota, but she is from a town even smaller than where Nick Rekieta lives. And I got her to get on the plane where she never got a plane before, never had a passport before, came into a completely different environment. And when I saw her the next time, which is this year, she was glowing. She told me I literally turned my life around. I was going more. Now I have a boyfriend. Maybe we'll get engaged. I have a new job. All the crap from the COVID went out. So everything kind of settled and her life is improved just because she gained a little bit more confidence. Now, I'll take credit for getting her out of Minnesota. I won't take credit for the rest, but it's a great thing to see.
Well, I mean, a lot of people that you end up seeing on screen are introverted. A lot of people in the chats, have some tendencies to stay to themselves. I mean, look, Tom Connors is the primary example of that. He is the quietest, most reserved guy we know. So,
just so you know, I turn on my sexy voice.
Oh, wow. So both you and Jacob have sexy voices. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Please start.
Yeah, my camera's fucking. Yeah, it's gonna be. I have to be Avatar, sadly.
Just don't worry about it. And yeah,
and I'm sacrificing Cobra Kai just for you.
Speaking of Cobra Kai, that just came out, and you've made.
Yeah, I got to see the last 4 episodes yet. I love you so much, Culture.
What do you think so far? What do you think so far?
I fucking love it.
Okay, all right. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. Jacob, have you started Cobra Kai yet, or no?
No, but I do have to watch the whole season for a review, so I do have to get on that eventually. But I got so many other things catching up. I'm gonna put that in the background, at least for the weekend.
Lots of irons in that fire, and one of the very earliest persons to check on any of my streams is a Crazy Cat Guy for $10. Thanks, Crazy Cat Guy, and thanks for your support. I know you're around quite a bit, and happy century celebration, 100 shows under the belt for this. Yeah, for this show, I didn't think we would be doing. This is 100 Fridays that we've done this show. Do we have to address you as Centurion now? LOL. Congrats and have a good day and weekend. Well, thank you, my friend. Nah, just call me Culture. It's fine. And
Centurion Casino.
Yeah. And hey, exactly, Nick. Yeah, Nick, are you gonna catch up on Cobra Kai?
I have not caught it. Well, I did TNT with you and the boys last night, and by the time the show ended, I was pretty drunk. I felt good. Then I kind of crashed, and I woke up before my first alarm went up. I went straight to work, did the shift, and now I'm on the road talking with you guys. So I've not had a chance to look at a screen besides the one that's got you, Tom, and a few of the other boys I see on here. So I will start watching three things to say, Nick. Tonight.
I just got three things to say. Mike fucking Barnes.
Oh, wow.
You just wait.
Dude. Oh, that's huge.
Well, I do want to say
that's a reference, just so you know.
Master Sidearms.
I'm excited, Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. And there's a couple of scenes, not a bunch, but there's a couple of scenes that are very anti-woke, too.
I'm excited for all of you guys. I can't wait to play catch up on this.
I want to punch my steering wheel.
I do know this. Master Sidearms is indeed correct. Life is too short to lose your mind over Rings of Power. True. I just don't watch it. I'm done with it. I'll watch House of the Dragon. And I'll suffer through She-Hulk, and then I don't know if I'm ever going to connect with another show. If it wasn't for the audience that voted me into having to watch She-Hulk, it would not be watching.
Cobra Kai is amazing, dude. Don't fret.
I know. And thank you, Fat Elvis. Appreciate that. We've got Islaj Melody saying congratulations. Thank you for all of your support, guys. You're incredible. Tom, that voice is scary, not sexy, says Rambam 3000.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Tom Connors is indeed the ultimate recluse.
This is scary.
Yes.
Do you like scary movies?
Not particularly.
And Cash is saying the meet was great. Yeah, I love hanging out. I got a chance. This is the second time or third time I've been able to meet up with Cash Kester. Cool dude. Pinochet's helicopter tours for $5 says, I knew 100 Fridays ago CC is the Tallahassee lawyer we all deserve. That's right. That was the early nickname I got from Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers. He called me the Tallahassee lawyer. So indeed. But thank you for putting up with my conspiracy theories. I called Twitter collusion, by the way. You did, my friend. You did. DS Ford not only sends us this super chat, but also a member chat. Congrats, Culture, one of the coolest YouTubers. Thank you for that. And then, of course, this one for $10. DS Ford says, congrats on 100. Well, thank you for that, my friend. Centurion Casino. There you go. That's also a CC. That works. Rangs of Culture. Yeah. Yeah, I don't care about a lot of this stuff. You know what? That's a good question. Who here is going to continue to watch Rings of Power? Raise your hand.
I quit after 20 minutes.
You said continue, right? Because I haven't started, and I don't.
I will not start ever.
I went down the black path of Mordor, and it's my mission to mock the show. It's literally the only reason.
I'll keep watching it if comics makes us.
He's not making us. I mean,
not really, but we are talking about it every Thursday. So it's hard to talk about something you're not watching.
She-Hulk. That's more than enough for me.
Yeah. And again, I mean, if you're digging it, if it's your jam, I'm fine with it. I said my piece this morning on Midnight's Edge After Dark, and it was, pretty clear. It doesn't ring true enough. And speaking of ringing true, E. Clay Thomason's for $2 asks a question. This is a great panel to ask this question. You have some real movie buffs here. Thoughts on new Stallone series Tulsa King?
Not familiar with it, actually.
Go ahead. I saw the trailer for it.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. Didn't hear any messages. Didn't hear any weird, things around it when it comes to like the promotional stuff.
Yep.
I'm intrigued. It's on Hulu, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm
Go
intrigued. I'm intrigued. It looks pretty nice. Kind of looks like Sopranos, but updated. I don't know.
It is. It's very modern Sopranos. Actually, it's I think it's Paramount Plus. Actually, I think that it's on.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
Paramount's actually giving you a incentive to stick around after Beavis and Butthead.
The series premiere is set for November 13th. So that's a birthday present for me a few days late.
So is this the one that's being done by the co-creator of Yellowstone?
Yes.
Okay.
Taylor Sheridan.
Is it Taylor Sheridan or the other one?
Taylor Sheridan. Yeah, it's Taylor Sheridan with Terrence Winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've liked everything Sheridan's done.
They're pushing it as the Yellowstone thing to coattail that show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the one thing I do worry about Taylor Sheridan, because I know he has his hands in like a lot of television shows right now.
Yeah.
Now, as a writer, I think he's probably one of the better writers, not the best writer in Hollywood right now. But is he stretching himself too thin?
I was just gonna say, when are they gonna Botchko him out? Right? Remember, like a lot of those guys from the '80s, the Botchko and some of those, they just raked him over the coals after a while. They stretched him too thin, and eventually their shows suffered.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest with you, though, I think he's got a pretty good handle on his production cycle. There are guys that manage it pretty well. I mean, Bruckheimer does a real good job of, juggling.
Bruckheimer sneezes and it's a hit, though.
It's true. The guy that was the producer for the films, the cinematic universe of the Fast and the Furious films, I forget his name, but he for a long time his production company was juggling a lot of balls too. I think Berlanti, for as terrible as his shows are, he really does manage to produce the same terrible shows for a long period of time. So I don't know.
What's his face? Is it Thomas J. Cannell? Used to print TV shows.
Yep.
Left and right.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Gray Scott Thompson?
Yes.
Culture?
Yeah. Thank
go.
you.
Yeah. Even though I have no sway, I have no horse in the Fast and Furious race. There you go.
Yeah. That dude was doing multiple shows simultaneously. I mean, and he put together some good stuff. I mean, and again, you do have to worry about like Jacob was saying, you do have to worry about guys that can do that to themselves, just burn themselves out.
Yeah, it didn't work all that well
Cannell's
for Kurt Sutter.
Yeah, Stephen J. Cannell, not Thomas J. Cannell.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, we had great television. I mean, Michael Mann. I mean, think about the stuff that he put together. But no, you're right, Botchko. Not Michael Mann. Is it Michael Mann?
No, Michael Mann made films mostly. I don't know if he did work in television at
Miami
all.
Vice. Wasn't that Michael Mann?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, you're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah. So
but that show really suffered the last couple of seasons of it.
Well, that's because he was making a couple of
films. Making films, yeah. I was going to say he used that as basically a springboard to film,
yeah. But everything he shot, I mean, that was television that was shot like film already, right? Or like cinema. So, and that translated well. See, that was the advantage of the 1 hour format, right? Back then was you could tell a pretty good story in that 1 hour. That 30 minutes is just not enough to do good storytelling if you're trying to do it like that. But
well, they do 1 hour, like they do House of Dragon or like Game of Thrones was 1 hour. You can do a lot with a 1 hour. And if you think about it, you get 10 episodes, but basically you get 10 movies. But if you break it down to like half an hour of shows, you get like 20 episodes, which was the norm back then, to get a season of 20 to 24 episodes. But yeah, your writers are going to get burned out. I don't know how long the SG1 people kept going.
Because if you look at it from like UK shows, UK seasons are typically like very short. Like you probably wouldn't get like 10 episodes like in a season, so they don't stretch out too long. I was thinking about this. Would you rather just have a show that maybe just like caps off at somewhere between like 30 to 50 episodes and still be good, rather than our typical shows that you get maybe 3 good seasons out of them? Then by the time you get to 9, you're like, this should have ended like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah. And you know what? It's like, okay, so this is a great conversation. I'm freaking stoked. The Law and Order shows, right? Don't you think those have been played out for way too long? It's like 20 some seasons of that garbage.
Almost like 30 years.
SVU.
Oh man,
SVU is the worst. The last
Culture. You bring up
seasons.
You bring up a great point about that particular show. It's kind of like The Simpsons. The only people who are watching there are people who are just habit watching. You're not hearing people talk positively about it. You're not hearing them talk negative about it. They're just in the habit. It's like it's become almost like a part of their daily routine. Or like these type of shows have no legs to stand on anymore. Besides the habit watchers, that's all it is now. It's a habit. Yeah. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, we used to have appointment television. Now you're saying we have habit television.
I mean, I've watched NCIS for 20 seasons now.
I
mean, there's only like 2 people that are still part of the original cast.
Well, Harmon's leaving, or he left, right?
He left.
Yeah. So why is anybody watching? They lost what's his name? He went and did
Weatherly.
the show. Weatherly, yeah.
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 They lost a chick who played Ziva. I mean, most of the original cast is gone. I think the only one that's still there is McGee.
Ziva was my favorite character in the show.
Yep.
Yeah. And that was after she replaced the other Kate.
Yep.
From that sniper one. Anyway, but you know what? Master Sidearms makes a good point here. Matt Smith is making Hot D. I mean, he is the success. Woo! He is the success of House of the Dragon.
He is the Hot D.
He is the Hot D. If it wasn't for him, it would be a big pile of been done before. I think that's not a hot take. I think that's a pretty good one, my friend. I really do.
And luckily, he'll be one of the only characters that's around for most of the show.
You don't? Have you seen the books? Read the books?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And I know that they're going to be doing time skips too. So some of the actors that we've got right now will not be the actors playing those parts later. So.
Yeah.
That means you're gay. There you go.
Wiener.
Yeah, Michael Mann is fantastic. Wow, I clicked on this. Must movies: Thief with James Caan and Manhunter. Yeah, Manhunter is the reason we got CSI, as a matter of fact. Man, you guys are great. Yeah, Smith's who? Yeah, Smith's Doctor was good. Man, I can't imagine making the same TV show forever, but I guess you just keep cashing that check as the showrunner, right? The producer. You could be a no-show producer at that point, right? 10 seasons in.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. I mean, the episodes write themselves on those procedurals.
That's, you know what? That would have been a safer move. Let's move to another subject. That would have been a safer move for She-Hulk, right? To stick with a actual Law and Order kind of procedural show, or like something we've seen before, like an Ally McBeal, or like a Boston Legal, or something like that, and it, actually have some experience in the room when you're talking about that. Because
I think She-Hulk's problem is that they should have hired writers who were actually competent at their jobs, and that would have solved a lot of problems just in and of itself. But we ended up getting what we got.
Yeah, Heat wasn't a great film. Heat was. Tom, is there any truth to the fact they're going to do Heat 2? Is that still lined up?
Michael Mann is hinting.
That's what I thought.
That his novels may lead to films of some type. I don't know how he's going to manage to do anything but the prequel aspects, but yeah, because part of his new novel takes place before Heat, and then it takes place about the events after Heat and how Val Kilmer's character gets away or whatever. So I don't know how they're going to be able to do anything with the Val Kilmer character without doing some deep fake shit or something. But
if they can use the same
they can recast it, but I hate that idea.
they could use the same tech they did before and just kind of have him be running them as like, I don't know. We'll
Maybe
see.
get his kid to do the voice or something.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Speaking of which, doing the voices, we've got a Toxic Man Flu here. He decided that he would join us during nap time.
Don't see the connection there.
Man, it was a terrible segue.
It was okay. I mean, it's one of your better segues. So
thanks.
I mean, everybody's going gaga over Game of Thrones, and I'm like, okay.
Fuck
when
Game
a
of
C
Thrones.
plus,
I'm going.
Yeah, when a C+ show is making everybody go gaga, I think they've won. So
I'm going gaga over Cobra Kai, not that shit.
Cobra Kai. Comics told me about this Psychopaths thing because we've been reading this one book that somebody sent in. We were trying to do some Great Reset stuff. And this is awesome. I usually don't like stuff with subtitles because I can't read, but this is pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that so far.
I can't read.
Well, I have trouble. I learned how to spell phonetically. You ever see 50 First Dates where you're sitting there going,
yeah, I love that one.
Hand clocks. I love that film. So,
one of the last decent Adam Sandler films.
Sandler films, yeah. Right. I thought Grown Ups was pretty funny.
That was the one that I really, honestly, which is funny. I hear people say that all the time. That was the one that made me lose all respect for him. I'm like, dude, you're really just doing nothing but hanging out with your buddies.
Did anybody here watch his more serious stuff like Uncut Gems, which was like what 3 years ago now?
He had a very good one earlier this year called Hustle. If you're an old school NBA fan, that one was actually very good.
I'm not as big of a fan of his dramatic stuff, but I can understand some people are. But yeah.
Well,
what was the one he had on Netflix with Jennifer Aniston, where they were the couple on vacation? He was the cop. And
I know you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, that was funny.
Good. Yeah,
it was just escapism. Yeah.
He did another good one that was completely out of any kind of casting you would put him in, called Cobbler.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I've seen that. I've seen
that
one.
Was the one I remember now that you mentioned that one that I forgot all about, but that one actually did get a little bit of praise, if I remember right.
And he deserved it. He did a great job in it. So,
what did you think of Click, Tom?
Huh?
What did you think of Click?
That was another one where I kind of lost some respect for him because here's the thing: most people don't know about Click. Click was one of those most famous scripts in Hollywood that had been rolling around for years that they never got made. And like you had Bill Murray attached to it at one time, Jim Carrey attached to it. Like it was one of those movies. And I guess he kind of took it and what was originally a really brilliant script and kind of turned it into a fucking Adam Sandler movie. I mean, there's still elements of it there, like especially at the end, I guess. But the kind of the whole message of the film is kind of muddied through his jibbity-doo.
It still hit me in the feels, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The original script still bleeds through a little bit, but like if you can imagine that being handled by somebody with a little bit more style.
Well, I mean, the unbelievable part was that he was able to get the girl, what's her name, that was in
Kate Beckinsale.
Underworld, Kate Beckinsale, to marry him. It's like,
I think it would have been a better vehicle for Bill Murray, to be honest with you.
Oh, that's definitely true. Definitely true.
Yeah.
But I mean, Bill Murray.
Williams. I think even Robin Williams was attached to it at one point too. He would have been another one who probably would have handled it better.
Well, what was the animated one he did?
Eight Crazy Nights.
Eight Crazy Nights. Oh yeah, that one wasn't. It had its moments, but it also it didn't really click quite right.
I see what you did there. That's great.
Speaking of Click, Click seemed like a Truman Show knockoff at the time.
That was the other problem it had.
By the time it rolled downhill, yes.
Yeah.
Man,
which is funny because my point was I think the Click script predated Truman Show probably by a couple of years at least.
Yeah, it had been rolling around forever.
Which film came first? I thought Click did.
I believe Truman Show did, but I think Click came in the wake of shows or movies of like the Truman Show, and that was the point. Was like that movie. It was just one of those most famous never produced scripts in Hollywood for years.
Mm. Yeah, that's stuff that I don't know a lot about that, so I'm glad that you do.
Well, there's like a blacklist of scripts every year that they put out where all the top writers and all that stuff will decide that these are the most the best unproduced scripts this year or for the last few years or whatever. And Click was always one that would constantly be on that list. There was that other one though too that they just made recently. I can't remember which one it was, but it flopped horribly too, which was hilarious. But I'm trying to remember which one it is. When I think about it, or somebody will think about it in the chat.
Yeah, and you know, and here's the thing about, you know, the time frame between Click and Truman Show probably didn't help it, because it was like eight years later that it came out.
Not too much.
Yeah,
I don't think it was more than that, because like didn't Truman Show came out in 96, right? 95 or 6.
Yeah,
wasn't Click like 99 or 2000?
2006.
Was it that late? Holy shit!
That's a decade later.
Wow, that was a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah, it was eight years later.
Hey Jay,
we're old.
Yeah. Well,
hey,
I think that AJ, that's the man right there.
He is the handsomest man on YouTube.
The Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore were hilarious. I mean, they've got stuff out of when they're getting memed and clipped like crazy. You know that there's pieces in it. You know, those are
that was his ramp up, and then like he peaked at like Wedding Singer. That was probably his most brilliant thing he ever did. And then the rest of it was kind of, and then Little Nicky happened.
No, Release the love. Oh God.
The saddest part is that was like, wasn't that what's his face's last movie? Rodney Dangerfield.
Rodney Dangerfield. Yeah, that was his last film before he died.
Probably killed him.
Tithead's coming with me.
Probably did. I mean, they all have that same Saturday Night Live problem. You know, Adam Sandler just plays the same character himself the whole time. So did Farley. And so did Will Ferrell. There's always that scene in any Will Ferrell film where he gets naked and runs somewhere.
I think the difference between the guys you just mentioned though is that Chris Farley and Will Ferrell, they have like this quality about them that even in their worst moments you can still find something endearing about them. When Adam Sandler's bad, he's bad. Like he is
when he's
off.
bad,
he
he's
comes
an
off
ass.
Annoying. Like it is like that's what I'm saying. Like
you mean like That's My Boy?
Sadly, that was one of his better later films, but yes. I was surprised how much I actually didn't hate that fucking movie, because I'm like, oh god, this is a bad idea. And then you watch the film and it's like, you know, it really didn't turn out as bad as I was expecting it to be.
It's the one he did with David Spade where he was like the secret agent or whatever.
What one was
they were in Florida or whatever.
Yeah, it was like the Get Something.
I can't think of the title.
Flip that.
Yeah, it was one of the
that.
Netflix.
Jay says Tom is correct.
Well, thank you, Jay. I like to hear that.
Sorry, Culture, I've derailed your stream.
No, this is
the one where he plays.
Go ahead.
The one where he plays himself and his sister. That one was pretty bad.
That was like
Jack and Jill.
Barrel.
Is that what it was called?
Jack and Jill was so bad when it came out. I literally thought that was an outtake from Funny People. Because if you haven't seen Funny People, like that's half of a decent movie and then half of a really shitty movie. Because the first half is Adam Sandler basically poking fun at himself. And you have like 3 or 4 trailers that are basically Jack and Jill. That was the caliber of those trailers. I literally thought the first time I saw that trailer that it was an outtake from one of those. I'm not joking at all. Because I'm like, this can't be serious. And then I realized, no, this is a real fucking movie. Oh my God, This is actually worse than the trailers in Funny People. I would actually watch some of those movies in Funny People.
Was Jack and Jill a contract film? Something he had to do to
I have
fill a
no
contract?
idea that was whose idea that was. I mean, maybe the same people who talked Eddie Murphy into doing Norbit. I don't know, but like,
or
my
Leonard
God,
Part 6 or
something, because it came from the bad movie monsters. I'll tell you that much. It's like one of those movies where you're looking at it going, how did this even get past the idea stage? Like,
right.
I'm going to do something I don't normally do, and that's defend Ferrell real quick.
I will. I like Will.
He was really, really good in a film where he plays an IRS agent, and he has an accident, and one day that accident actually creates the opportunity for him to hear a voice in his head. It's called Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah, Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah, and basically this voice is narrating his life, and he delivers such an amazing performance in that. And Maggie Gyllenhaal is his female co-lead, and they have probably Stranger Than Fiction. That's what it is. Thank you. Thank you. That is such a good film. It makes me wonder why he always defers back into that comedy stuff, because he actually has chops, in performance.
Right. Well, I mean, to pull off things like Anchorman, and Fire Saga, I love that film. I know there's probably some problematic things and stuff in it, but again, it had a scene where he's running around naked. So did Anchorman, but though he's funny in those films. Old School, he was funny in that.
He was naked in that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every one of his movies, there's a scene where we can see, Talladega Nights.
Maybe that's the key, is he's got to be naked in it.
Yeah.
I think the last Will Ferrell movie that I've seen was a film he did a couple years ago called Downhill with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. That was probably the most miserable film I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I know a lot of you guys are married, but like, don't watch that movie with your wives, because I mean, the whole concept of it is that they thought they were going to die in the avalanche, but then the avalanche was turned out to be like not like an actual thing. But because he didn't like try to save like his wife and kids, she basically treats him. I'm not even joking here, like just absolute shit throughout the remainder of the film. This is like a long movie. It's almost like maybe like 90 minutes long of just her just torturing him for a while. I keep thinking to myself, is there going to be like some kind of like twist or turn or punchline here? It's like, nope. It's just that he's a douchebag and he needs to pay for what he did, and then end credits. And I was like, wow, that was horrible.
Sounds like my second marriage.
Sounds like She-Hulk.
Yeah, or She-Hulk. Yeah. Which comics is going to keep me watching?
Did any of you see the Ferrell movie that was completely in Spanish? Casa de mi Padre.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie. I didn't.
No,
see
I do
it,
remember when it came out though. But yeah, no, and he's not perfect. Obviously, I mean, definitely going to turn some bad performances, but I don't find him nearly as obnoxious as I do Adam Sandler. Sometimes is my point.
No, and I can see that.
I might have to disagree with that one, because at least with Sandler, like there's more good performances with Sandler that have happened versus like Will Ferrell. Like
I thought Will Ferrell was great in the other guys. He played a different.
I was gonna say, you got the other guys. You got Superbad. I mean, even when Will Ferrell, the thing is, like Will Ferrell, what I love is, Step Brothers. That's what I meant, not Superbad. I like when he pops up in cameos too.
The Eastbound and Down character was great.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like, and that's the thing.
Basically, Ric Flair.
It's Austin Powers. I'm badly burned.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all his cameos are amazing when he's in the smaller roles. He's even like the best part of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back as Sheriff Will and Holly.
I mean, like, that's not saying much.
Yeah, I know. Well, but my point is like there's a lot of times where he's like, he just pops up in this perfect fucking role in this just little bit part. Even like what was the other one? Wedding Crashers. Drowning Mona. Like, he always just winds up with these little cameos here and there that just like, they always make me laugh. And Austin Powers was one of the first times I remember him, because I did not like him when he was on Saturday Night Live. I disliked him wholeheartedly. I did not. You guys got like, I did not like that new cast after Chris Farley, Sandler. All those guys left. I'm like, fuck this cast. I'm like, these. I thought
he did probably the best George Bush impersonator, the second one. Well, and he's sitting there playing with the yarn like a cat in the Oval Office. I was dying.
Well, he won me over later on through some of his other various roles in other films, and then, like you said, he did that really great one-man show too, as well as George, which was hilarious.
Celebrity Jeopardy was great, though.
Stuff like that. Oh, the Celebrity Jeopardy. There was a few that finally did kind of break me.
He had a period of time where he could do no wrong, but he was always little bits, right? It was always like bite sizes. It wasn't like entire films where he was more successful,
There's only so much you can take of Will Ferrell at a time.
Yeah.
Because he's so intense.
You guys got me thinking about something else. And before I jump onto the super chat, that's going to change the subject.
Smells like almonds. Sorry.
You got me.
All right. We'll do this anyway. Pinochet's helicopter tours for $5 says random question for the panel. Well, here we are. We're kind of a random panel. Says, with the state of wokeism in the world and tendency to destroy the past, what will Tropic Thunder legacy be going forward? Good question.
Depends on how it gets buried in the future annals of time, I guess. It's coming out again on disc, and there's talks of that spin-off with Tom Cruise. That might help its legacy. Outside of that, it just depends. Once we get past this wokeism, a lot of this... The beauty of this is I think it's going to...
If we get past it.
I think we will, actually, to be honest with you, dude, because, like, this whole thing, when it goes away, it's going to go away fast, I think. We're kind of seeing it kind of sputter out. So
I mean, I've been looking my entire life trying to find some booty sweat energy drink. I can't find it.
It does taste like ass.
That spinoff could happen though. We could end up with that.
Tom has wanted to make that happen for so many years,
and he's got the juice to do it right now. He's got the juice to do it right now.
How many films do you think he can get away with being complete bombs after Maverick? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.
At least
7.
3.
Yeah.
Look, the guy. He owned this summer box office. Do you know what he's going to do next summer?
Own it again, because the beauty of it is he's got Mission Impossible coming out next year, and Mission Impossible is one of those rare franchises that has kind of become like the new Bond, right?
Yeah.
At first, it was kind of like a flash in the pan. Then it was saved by a couple of films there, and then all of a sudden, it was just one of those movie franchises that, no matter what it is, people will go see it. Kind of like a Bond film, right? Like they're just there for it.
There are sequels in that series that are better than the original.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
Consistent.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying that the movies are actually getting better as it goes on.
I'll be honest, I checked out after part 2. I thought the second one was bullshit.
The second one was a little rough, and I think they picked it up towards the middle of 3. And then Ghost Protocol, I think, was a very good film.
Was the second one directed by John Woo?
Yes. Doves everywhere.
Where he put like slow motions everywhere.
Yes.
Fucking doves everywhere. Oh,
doves everywhere. Yes.
Yeah.
The long-haired Tom Cruise. I think the only movie we ever had long-haired Tom Cruise like that, and it was just horrible looking.
But the only thing I think the mistake was with the last
Vanilla
one, which was what was it? Fallout. Wasn't that the name of the last one?
With Henry Cavill.
Yeah, like I said, I think killing off Henry Cavill was a mistake. I think they could have done a lot more with his character, but I guess he was just supposed to be more.
He's had such bad luck. I mean, it's Superman. I understand he got all that stuff, but he's had such bad luck with films having a hard time. And I mean, he could have done more Superman films than he did.
Yeah,
and I think Henry Cavill's had bad. He did The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yes,
which I thought was a good film.
Yeah, it was very good.
Really
it was underappreciated. Yeah, it was underappreciated. Yeah. Hey, Malachi Trey sends a super sticker. Thank you, my friend, for 99 cents. I appreciate it. I think it's a smiling devil-faced guy. I think that's what I can describe it as. So thanks for that, my friend. Good to see you. Thanks for all the support, guys. 100. I'm sorry, I can't believe I've done this show 100 times. This is still blowing my mind. So it's
we're a couple of viewers short from 100 people on YouTube. So
yeah, well, we were we actually crossed over that a couple times. We usually average right around 100. I someday hopefully I'll average 200, 300, 400, maybe 1,000. That'd be amazing. But thank you all for being here. Jedi Bill, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here. Jedi Bill's growing his channel too. Everybody's here is growing their channel. I'm so proud of so many of you guys. I sound old. I sound like Grandpa Culture.
You are old.
Oh, shut up. And you know what? The second Impossible was pure action adrenaline. How can a man not like it? For whatever reason, there were some elements there that just didn't connect with me. But it got back on track in the third one. By the time we were in 4, I was digging it. I don't know. I really like that character so much, especially as Tom Cruise is playing it. I mean, you have 2 Mission Impossible films in the next 18 months.
Yep,
that's amazing.
Yep. Then another thing, like I was actually going to mention this, like the reason why Top Gun is like destroying the box office because Hollywood hasn't given you any reason to actually go to a movie theater this summer, like at all. Like their big release of the summer was supposed to be Thor, and then how well did that do? And there isn't anything coming up down the hill up until Avatar 2 that's gonna make anyone want to come out to a theater.
It was their own fault because they went and dumped them all on streaming, and this is why I kept saying to people when they were like, "Well, why don't they put Ghostbusters on streaming? Why don't they put Top Gun on streaming? Why don't they put this and that on streaming?" It's like because they're gonna hit a point when they don't have anything to release.
So,
because you guys got to remember, there's a gap. There's a gap where they weren't making any movies. They weren't doing jack shit.
Yeah.
So, and I bet a lot of them are kicking themselves in the ass because if they would have waited on Godzilla vs. Kong, Dune, even Ghostbusters, I bet all would have done so much better than they did if they would have just waited until after all this business and saved it till this last month here. They probably would have been gangbusters.
I want to say something. I want to say thank you to Jillian N for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you, Jillian. That was amazing. And thank you, Captain Fandom Nerd, for saying thank you. Oh, we just lost somebody. Who'd we lost? Oh,
Mephisto had to step out.
He's trying to restart his camera.
I'm gonna have to step out here pretty soon too. I'm gonna go finish
Tom,
Cobra Kai.
before you do though, I need your reaction on this.
What's that?
Because I don't feel like we got a chance to talk about this.
What?
There's a film coming out. It's not getting great reviews. It's not getting a kind of love.
Clerks.
It's your favorite director. Here it is.
What can I say that I didn't say already this morning?
I don't know. Just
this is his puff piece. You brought up his fucking puff piece where they're sucking on his balls.
Yeah, I know.
I came in just in time.
That's
Hey,
funny.
kids!
Okay, look at this, Tom. Look over his left shoulder, so it's our right. It just says irks.
It does irk me.
He does
because I was looking forward to this movie for so long, and I stood up for this man for so fucking much longer than anybody else did.
You and me both, Tom.
And
well, all right. I can speak from personal experience, and I won't say why or how, but having a heart attack does change your brain and how you think and things like that. And I do think, in what I've seen, and from Kevin Smith, there was Kevin Smith before the heart attack, and there's Kevin Smith after the heart attack, and I don't think they're the same person. 100%. So,
I would agree with you, but there was a lot of these signs coming in before the heart attack. The heart attack was just the catalyst to
I think it has amplified it. So before it was something, hey, I'm not going to, okay, I got these tendencies, but I'm not going to shit on my fans. And then after, there's no filter. The tactic Pentagon, maybe there's something like that.
Well, like I said, if anyone who suffers a heart attack and is told by a doctor that, that was almost it, I mean, it's going to change anyone just from that kind of perspective.
Right. But I mean, the lost blood and stuff actually changes your brain chemistry. Yeah.
So, but what I said this morning still stands, right? Like the critics have never liked Kevin. He should know this. He's only had 2 times in history where they haven't really destroyed him, and that was Clerks and Chasing Amy. It was the only 2 times in history. And I said a lot of his woke business, I think, is coming from the fact that he knows sooner or later this new generation is going to discover Chasing Amy, and they're going to cancel the fuck out of him.
Oh yeah,
but that was such a good film, and it's so
it was
relevant,
at the time, but now it's problematic as fuck.
Yeah, it's actually more relevant today.
Dogma, I think.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but yeah, I agree. Also, the Dogma is his best film, but
I can't believe the critics gave that the crap that they did.
Yeah, well, and that's because it wasn't really fully realized for what it could have been too. If you've ever read that script is so fucking good. I mean, the movie's good, but the script is so much better.
And that's just another film.
About 2/3 of what he wanted to do, but
yeah, it's just another film where you've got to have everything in sync to make a great film.
What do you think this film cost, Tom? Do you remember off the top of your head?
I think it's got like a $20 or $25 million budget. I'd have to look.
So it'll probably make money.
I don't know. I don't think Silent Bob did either, because
he's touring with this film, right? He's doing a college tour or something.
Yeah, but it's not getting a standard release, which is funky because this one actually has Lionsgate behind it.
Oh no! Really?
Which normally would be a bad thing, don't get me wrong, but at this point, he hasn't really had a distribution house. His last few movies were independently produced and distributed by himself through this roadshow thing and Fathom event, and then Saban picked it up for the video. This one actually has Lionsgate behind it, but the fact that they're not releasing it in wide release, unless somebody knows something I don't, tells me that this movie's not very good.
Isn't that what they did with the last movie, though?
Yeah, but see, that was my point, was Jay and Silent Bob reboot didn't have a major studio behind it.
Okay,
but it was just an independent, it was just an independent feature, and then Saban picked it up for video. He did a road show with it, and then he dropped it on streaming, straight to streaming, basically. Even though it did go theatrically, and like I went and seen the Fathom event of it, and that was it. That was pretty much the widest release it got. So I don't know if they're doing a similar thing with this. Oh, it is getting a wide release next week, Uncle Remus. Okay.
September 13th.
I guess we'll see how it fares, because Clerks 2 actually did pretty well for him. I mean, it didn't do like blockbuster numbers, but
It had its moments.
September 13th. We'll see how it goes. I want to say thanks to Toxic Man Flu for gifting another 5 memberships. Folks, go to the chat if you'd like to be a member. Go to the chat on the top. Click on the where it says top chat. Change that to live chat. You should have an indicator there if you've been gifted or you are eligible to accept the membership. So,
but to finish off my point, I mean, he pissed off his fans, especially some of his most diehard fans, like myself included. And I mean, motherfucker even blocked me on YouTube and Twitter. That's how fucking petty he is.
Yeah. The problem is that people don't accept criticism. I get criticized all the time. You have to accept it. Realize it, take the good with the bad. Dismiss the things that are not relevant. And
it's not even that they don't accept criticism anymore. They've got this new marketing strategy. It's like, well, we're just going to call criticism racist and sexist and make 1,000 articles about why the people who don't like our show or our movies are bad now.
But that playbook's that playbook's running dry, and I mean, it really, honestly, and truly is. So,
I got a question for Kevin. Why Clerks so white?
Wow, that's because all those guys were white, man. At least they're gonna play a hockey.
I don't think is there even a black person in this besides Rosario Dawson?
I don't know. Is she in it?
Not sure.
She's in it.
Yeah, she's in it.
I don't know. I don't know at all, but I do know this. Valiant Renegades shot us a $5 super chat saying cheers to 100 episodes. That's his way of saying
cheers to Valiant.
Yeah, that's his way of saying no, I'm not coming on the show.
Here's proof that Culture didn't read the article before he shared it, because they actually talked to him about Rosario Dawson being in the movie and all the references to Star Wars and how if that was awkward.
Or it wasn't awkward. It was me saying, hey, give us more information. That's a segue. It's a way to get people to talk about it.
Yeah, and I know she's technically Puerto Rican, but isn't she half black?
I don't know.
I could be wrong.
It's like Kamala Harris. It depends on what time of the day you're talking.
That's what I'm saying. I don't
She's
really care.
black presenting.
That's how much I care. I haven't researched. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, none of that should matter to anybody.
It doesn't. No, she's a great actress, and I'm sad that she's in this movie because I actually loved and adored Clerks 2.
Valiant, I'm teasing you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, this is movie. I could have been one of the biggest proponents of this film. I wouldn't have shilled for this movie, but if I'd have liked it, I would have told people. I enjoyed watching Silent Bob Reboot. I didn't think it was a great movie, but I enjoyed it. At this point, though, I don't really give a fuck. He lost me. He's lost Yellow Flash. He's lost a lot of people that were fans, and that's what I don't think he's understood. It's sure he may have a couple of fans left, but a lot of them are not the type of fans that are diehards.
Is that also the case, or is it just another example of being so deep in the Hollywood bubble you're just delusional to reality?
Well, there's that part too, I'm sure. I mean, that's a big part of what I was saying before the heart attack. He was already, living in Hollywood for over a decade, so a lot of this stuff was creeping in. Oh yeah, there's definitely some woke elements in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Big time. But it didn't overshadow the film as much as other movies of the time. But if I went back and watched it now, I don't know if it would have held up as well. I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, it was just nice to see all those characters back, and the story was kind of fun. But like in retrospect, after the way he's done things at this point, I'm not going to support Clerks 3 one way or the other.
Sometimes member berries work.
Here, just the critical article that I didn't bring up that Tom and I have probably seen is the one that basically says if you weren't a fan of Clerks or Clerks 2, Clerks 3 is not for you.
Yeah, but why make a movie that is not for the broadest audience possible?
Yeah,
I mean, if you go smaller and smaller and smaller each time, what's the purpose?
I appreciate him doing that for the fans, but guess what? You fucked over a bunch of your fans because all you had to do is just ignore the He-Man stuff and or just said, yeah, I'm not that big of a fan. You guys are right, but hopefully I can bring something to the table, and not lied to us about the whole thing being about He-Man, because he's aware of it now. Motherfucker made a crack about it not too long ago. So it's like, don't even fucking act like you don't know what you're doing wrong. And then when you're sitting there on the stage and Shatner's being asked about new Star Trek and his reaction to it, and you can sit there and just continue to go down this road and not have any kind of try and like talk to the fans about any of this shit, then fuck you, dude. You have an opportunity, but you blew it. And you're still doing this He-Man shit, so whatever.
He could have used the Shatner thing to actually apologize to fans, to be honest with you. He had an opportunity there.
He could have.
Yeah.
And he's been a person who can humble himself pretty good.
He has done it upon a few occasions. Jesus Davia for $5 sends the cool super chat that is 100 episodes. Cheers. Thanks. Appreciate it. That's really cool.
Everybody knows your name.
Oh gosh, let's not remake Cheers, okay?
Making your way in the world today.
That's the end of the world.
Everything you got.
That song's
Norm is
more
crossed.
It's gonna be a bar, but it's gonna be a bar run by lesbians now. So.
Norm is now race swapped.
Well, technically it already was. You know, Christy Alley kind of run it.
not wrong. So.
Malachi Trace sends another super sticker. Thank you for that, Malachi Trace. That's awesome. You guys are just killing it today. You guys are amazing.
Cliff is a trans, and let's see, Sam. Well, Sam is now a woman.
But see that
dating
song,
a woman.
That song has those
Norm.
lyrics in it.
Yeah,
Norm
it
is
was.
gonna be race swapped.
And your husband wants to be a girl in the full
That's right.
version. And yes,
yeah. That song does click that way. There's no doubt about it. If you ever hear the thing, so
The full
No better reason to drink.
yay! Cheers would be Pam and Diane. There you go.
exactly.
Julian.
Well, you can still have it be Sam.
100%
Sam's a
right.
girl name. There you go.
Wow, CGI He-Man show is leagues better than Smith's Revelations. Still has woke Netflixisms, but overall pretty good show. I haven't seen it, so I can't.
I would watch it, but to me, it just doesn't look or feel anything like He-Man from what I've seen of it. And, you know, for those who are enjoying it, cool. At least you got something to watch. But to me, it's just not He-Man. It's so far from the mothership. It's just.
My kids watched that version of He-Man, that CGI one, and then they watched Arcane and they loved Arcane.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch Arcane and then I'm gonna get back on with you guys because I keep hearing such great things about it. I will get back with you all.
I haven't watched it. I'm not into it. It's just not for me.
Ironcaster's right. Cliff should be black and a mailman because the dog jokes. Yes.
Wow. Rough.
That's what they would do.
Did you hear the?
Yes, I got it. All
right.
I watched Arcane. My kids watched it multiple times. I mean,
what
my
did you
youngest, think? I thought it was good. And it's not really my style of show, but I did watch it through because the kids liked it so much.
And
you're something to talk about.
And your youngest liked it. Obviously,
she's watched the whole
series
series probably 4 or 5 times. And she just keeps rewatching it. So yeah, she loved it.
Is it about a cane?
An Arcane?
No.
Okay.
I think they took characters from League of Legends.
Yes.
And they put them in the show.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense then. Yeah.
Oh, is it superhero stuff?
Not really.
No.
Okay.
What's the best way to explain it?
Well, you're all talking about it as if everybody's seen it, and I haven't.
No, I haven't seen the show. I've just seen snippets of it. But from what I've seen, it's sort of a fantasy gaming. It's all mixed up together.
Oh, okay. So okay, got it.
Yeah.
Project Cambrian says, I thought as Tom does in regards to CGI Motu, but the little kid in the house wanted to see it. And after Smith's, I had to screen it. It's surprisingly good. Wow.
That could be, but like, again, it just, to me, it has more in common with shit like Power Rangers. Like it doesn't feel like He-Man. It doesn't look like He-Man. It doesn't emote He-Man to me.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying is like, to me, He-Man is a specific kind of thing. It's sci-fi meets, sword and sorcery, but this is just way too much sci-fi. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's just my personal opinion on that. That's all.
Yeah, and this is kind of where we're at right now with House of the Dragon for a lot of people. It's not, people liked it. They didn't love it. It's worth watching, but maybe it's not overwhelming. But it was said here earlier, and I'm not sure by who, a C-level show is something we're jumping up and down over.
This talks.
I think that was
I'll claim that. Yeah, I'll
Sea
claim
level is rising though.
that. That's good. And it's okay. I mean, the first season of Game of Thrones wasn't exactly stupendous. Had its ups and downs until they got their legs, and then they had some good stuff going on. So, I thought the last episode. So there was a hot and cold moment for me in the last episode. I thought the ending with Matt Smith was phenomenal. I thought that was great. But there was a point where Valeris and his daughter, I can't remember their names. Rhaenyra. They were talking, and they were having a discussion that I've had with my daughters. And they said something, they got to this point. It's obvious it was just the end of the dialogue, and she walked out. Because no father-daughter moment like that ends like that at all. And it proved to me that the writers don't have enough real-world experience to make the little moments correct.
Well,
that's kind of what ties in, right? It doesn't matter whether it's fantasy or it's sci-fi or whatever. The family moments that we all have, the friendship moments, the relative moments that we have, that's what ties us in and brings us into the story. And that just kind of threw me off.
To be fair, I kind of felt like they tried to write her as being defiant all the time, and maybe being unreasonable, meaning, oh, you're stopping in mid sentence or mid conversation with your dad and just walking out because you're an impetulant child.
Yeah.
But she's supposed to be like 17, 18. I don't know.
Yeah, see, and
it's not a great moment. It's not a great moment, but yeah.
It's not a great moment, and they haven't really flushed out her character yet. At 17, and it's a different world, right? So if we were to go back to the medieval times or whatever you want to call it, here in our history, she would be married off and start having kids probably around 13 or 14, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a different world. And when there are more people watching this show that haven't read the books than people who have read the books. I think that's a safe statement.
For sure.
Yeah.
So if you don't write the show to connect what is different between in the books and their likely real life experience, you're going to lose people. So that's one of them. If she's 17, all right, and she hasn't even come close to being with anybody, and there's this giant 3-year gap where nothing's explained.
Right? That's kind of how the book is written. It's a history.
Right, and
it doesn't have a steady narrative. It's literally
it's a disjointed thing. So if they follow the lore, it's going to be a disjointed show, and that's what I'm seeing. So a good writer, and you guys know more about this than I do. A script doctor, I think, would know a whole lot more.
Yeah.
A good writer is going to put in those connective tissues to make people want to see it. In there. There was a lot of that in Dune. And I know Tom and I kind of disagree on this one. I thought the music had that connective tissue in it because I'm deep lore in the Dune stuff.
First of all, we have to define what music is, though.
That's okay. I agree.
Yeah.
It was, to me, the music that they used was more of a sound effects soundtrack.
Right.
To try and convey the feeling and the emotion of the inner dialogue that was happening, that I knew was in the book, that others who didn't read the book would not know. So I think as a director or a filmmaker, you have to know who your audience is going to be, and if it's disparate audience like Dune audience is going to be. You've got to find some kind of sweet spot in the middle where you know you're going to piss off 10 to 20% at either side, and you kind of want to get that 40 to 60% in the middle.
Well, see, the whole thing with Dune isn't so much necessarily Dune directly. It's a problem we're having with films overall. Like, the art of the score has been lost, right? I can't think of one memorable score from the last 5-10 years that wasn't a reiteration of something else. And the only other things people can come up with is stuff from like Hans Zimmer, but to me, I'm like, that's mostly noise. And like people were like tripping over themselves.
Where's John Williams?
Yeah, well, that's just it. Even he's kind of
John Williams.
He's kind of
I mean from the
phoning
80s.
it in nowadays too. That's the problem. Yeah,
you can throw a dart at any 80s film and find a great score.
I mean, you got your Bear McCreary's and some of these other guys, but he's just doing a lot of what the other guys are doing too. It's just I can't think of one memorable score since like early on Marvel films, and even some of them are kind of generic-ish.
He scored something recently, Tom, that was very orchestral. I'm trying to remember what it was, but he did. But actually, to be honest with you, all you have to do is go to the Indian cinema stuff, Tom. You're going to hear.
Reznor wasn't too bad. I see Isaj brought him up in the chat. Yeah, he wasn't too bad for like Social Network, and I can't remember the other one he did recently that I thought wasn't too shabby. But no, it's just you had people tripping over themselves though to try and praise the Batman theme score earlier this year, and I'm like,
wasn't good.
It is one of the worst fucking scores I've ever heard in my life. It's lazy as piss.
It's stuck in your head, but that's about
fucking notes. It's a quarter of the Imperial March. That's all it is. Instead of it going bum 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 ba bum bum ba bum, all it was bum bum ba bum. Bum bum ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum bum. That is it. That is
Holy
the fucking
shit,
score.
You're right. I never picked it up until now. But
I just got a copyright claim.
Probably did, because that's and Superman was another one I got off. Like people are like, oh, it's so fucking amazing. I'm like, it's 2 fucking notes.
What you mean, Man of Steel?
Yes.
Oh,
Man of Steel was horrible.
Score. It's I cannot stand the score in that movie.
Oh my god,
it's disgusting.
Bum. Turn it up an octave. Bum bum. Go back to the original octave. Bum bum. That's the score. How is that anywhere near the Superman score? Dun 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 Superman. Dun dun dun. You know, like come on.
Yeah, but we're not producing composers anymore.
No, that's true. Yeah,
even the Batman theme says Batman, for fuck's sake. It's like dun 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 Batman.
I did like the theme they came up with for Wonder Woman, though. I enjoyed that theme.
Sorry, I had to have a moment there. When it comes to this is somebody who loves, and I mean, you guys have no idea. Like, I have a huge record collection, and majority of it is soundtracks, and a large portion of it is scores. And I have a very scattered few scores from the past 10 years, and most of them are reiterations of classic scores, like Ghostbusters is a prime example. Top Gun is a prime example. It's the same as the original music.
But Tom, the problem is you can actually point it in. Somebody jokingly in the chat said that, Elfman fired a lot of composers along the way. He really got a lot of them fired because nobody needed them. Everybody went to Elfman. Well, Elfman's not going to be around forever, just like Williams is not going to be around forever.
Even Elfman kind of tapered off there. They're like, he was kind of fucking just phoning it in too.
Yeah, eventually, but that's the problem. And real quickly, I need to get to some member chats because otherwise they're going to just disappear completely. But
Society Reviews has to leave us as well as me too. Jacob's
no. Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Go ahead, Jacob. Do your thing, my friend.
Yeah, I got to run. I got to make a few phone calls because there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes right now. But tomorrow on my YouTube channel, so follow me on YouTube and on Twitch, I think we're going to be covering the UFC fights tomorrow. The only problem is I don't know what those fights are going to be or if they're actually going to happen. So we're still figuring that out. We'll have more updates on Twitter and things of that nature. Monday night, I'm talking about the controversial 1986 film Soul Man. I have a good discussion about that one on my YouTube channel. And then we have episode 15 of the Barroom Podcast next week. And then wrapping up my retro review on Die Ranger next Wednesday night. So we got a lot of things coming up. And then, of course, I'll be on Side Reviews, Bounding in the Comics, Bounding in the Sports. So a lot of things going around the corner here. So very, very busy.
Well, bound away, my friend, and thanks for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Is there going to be a bounding into spell check coming anytime soon for John?
You got to ask, John and Spencer.
Talk to John. Okay. All right.
Bounding into bounding into.
It's gonna be Ferguson versus Diaz. Trust me.
Right.
I'm hearing that there's now hiccups between Hosmont and Holland, so that can also throw some wrenches.
Oh man!
Too, so it's an absolute mess right now. So we're trying to figure things out.
All right. Well, thanks for being here, Jacob. We're going to get to a couple of member chats that I didn't get to earlier. Take it easy, my friend.
Tom had to go too.
Yeah, I'm going to head out here soon.
All right. Well, just
I'll chill just in case.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thanks. 70s rock fan, 18-month member. Thank you, my friend. Says, "Hail, boss. Alas, I'm at work. I would love to join you in this celebration, but there be many hundreds more." Well, I hope so, but we'll see.
He does not talk that fast or that like Midwestern. It's more Scottish.
I hope that 70s gets a whole lot of dollar bills stuffed in his G-string at work. So sorry I can't be there, dude.
He needs those G's.
He's a stripper?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Yeah. It was 32 flavors of Nick Weiser says.
I can see Brahma Bull as a stripper too.
It's an experience.
I could see you as a fireman stripper.
A fireman.
Oh,
stripper.
that's right.
Somebody's going to do that.
I'm here to put out some heat.
Somebody's going to do that now. All right. Well,
help me reel in my hose.
Speaking of member chats, we got 32 flavors of Nick Weiser saying connection is getting crappy, so I'll just listen. So that's why he bopped out, guys. So Nick, I hope everything's going well. Nick. Yeah, it was nice for you to pop in for a bit. I do appreciate it. I'm scrolling through to make sure I get everybody's stuff. Malachi Trey sent another super sticker at some point along the way, a 100. I think I acknowledged that one as well, but I just wanted to clarify that I didn't want to miss anything. Of course, we acknowledged all the wonderful gifted memberships from our folks here. Appreciate that. Alf becoming a new member just a moment ago. And Jillian and Toxic Man Flu contributing to the swelling our ranks here. Thank you for that. I
didn't know they get YouTube at Melmac.
Melmac. That's right. That's the fictional planet that Alpha's from.
Yep.
And Jillian actually gave a second set of memberships. Thank you for that. And Eric K just gave a set of memberships. Folks, if you are not a member, today is your day to join for free for a month. So you will get to hang out on one of the member streams coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So thank you for that, Eric K. Jillian. Heron of Alexandria sends a $5 super chat that we'll get to in just a moment. So you guys are amazing. I can't even sorry, I'm trying to scroll through carefully. I don't want to miss any of
the abuse that I give you on a daily basis. 5 memberships is the least I could do.
I don't mind at all, Tox. You're a great friend. But
okay, so I'm going to say it here officially. The hair is real, but the beard is a weave.
There it is. That's also true. Darren Hughes, who's been a member for 4 months now and a wrench here on the channel for quite some time, says, "Hey, LCC panel and chat. Welcome to the show, panel. It's great to have guests here for the flight number 100. Congratulations, Culture Casino." Well, thank you for that. And thanks for doing all the work you do, Darren Hughes. You do a great job modding. I've got some of the best mods on the planet. I have to say that because it is the truth. It's the truth. It's actual. Everything is satisfactual. So there it is. Why we're gonna lose that song, ladies and gentlemen, because it will no longer be in Splash Mountain.
Yep.
Did you see the new Splash Mountain? What they were doing? Somebody put that on Twitter.
Yeah, somebody threw that Disney Springs thing on top of the mountain.
Man, that was hilarious.
You're gonna put a boat up there as their plan. This thing is garbage. Okay, so this is an attraction, right, that is geared towards like teenagers and older right now. They're trying to gear the inside of this attraction. They're restructuring it to be Tiana's whatever to little girls. You're targeting little girls. little princesses with this ride. They can't get on the ride. It has a ridiculous steep drop at the end. How many little girls are going to be super excited at the end of that? Not that many. I don't even know. I don't even know. I do know this. We got some super chats that I want to not miss and get to, so let's get to those real quick. 6 sent $13. Thank you, 6, for that. Very specific number. Says, happy birthday yesterday, Brahma Bull. The $12 is in honor of you, and the $1 is in honor of Culture Celebration.
Thank you, 6.
That's rough.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Insert kid's name here. Happy birthday to you. Where's my $20? Wait a minute. I already sang happy birthday to you.
I know, but I'll send you $20.
I'm still getting $20.
I
don't give a fuck.
I know $20 is $20, right, Batman?
Damn right. Whether I'm doing it singing happy birthday or, well, I'm not saying the other thing. But, you know, Batman's got to do things sometimes he's not proud of, kids.
That's true. That's very, very true. Speaking of doing
sometimes
things,
they're Culture Casino.
Batman stripper.
Yeah, Pinochet's.
Wait, that's a better idea than what I've been doing. Jesus Christ.
Go bat knee pads.
Pinochet's helicopter tours for $2. Says Hollywood is being written by sick, broken people. I can't argue with you. Thank you for that. Master Sidearm says something that makes me happy. Side note, you guys are going to like Brahmastra. I already tell you, I know I'm going to.
I think Brahma Bull's going to like it because his name's in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Brahmastra.
I may have to jump into the Indian movie review game.
I think you're. I'm telling you right. I'm telling you right now, this film looks great. So I'm seeing it mañana. I'm going to the early show, so very stoked. Apparently, there are scores that people don't like when they're down 21-0, because it's hard to come back.
Take a drink. Take a drink.
It's okay. It's all right.
While you're gagging on whatever the hell it is you're gagging on, I did send you a little something to talk about that you'll enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
See, Elf has become a member.
Yeah, Elf. Thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate that.
Did he get a hold of Willie's credit card?
Oh gosh, that poor guy. I read the terrible article about his passing. I
didn't even know something about he had supposedly had some accusations about some other bad things I had to look into.
It was rough. Al for $2 says some Japanese composers are amazing too, and I agree with that 100%. We have people globally that write great stuff. Truly true.
Yeah, just the art is gone. Something's gone. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
You know what it is. Heron of Alexandria for that $5 super chat I mentioned says, I've been growing my hair out, but I think Culture's luxurious hair is longer than mine. Well, I grow mine, and then it gets to a certain length and I cut it and donate it.
As far as that picture, yes, but we don't know how old that picture
but you do have about 6-7 inches on Culture when it comes to height, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Heron of Alexandria is very tall, apparently.
Oh,
so
really?
I can't wait to meet Heron of Alexandria. So,
yeah,
I'm short too.
Sorry, Master Sidearms. It's not. You can't target the gifts, my friend.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, one way or the other. Oh, Mikey's here.
Mike's here. Mikey!
He doesn't know you were talking shit about him earlier.
I didn't talk shit about him.
You were talking mad shit.
This is such a lie. That's a lie.
We were typing in the back that he doesn't know what he's talking about.
I can't believe you said that about Mexicans on top of it all.
I know. And if anyone were to defile tacos like you did in the private chat, yeah.
Not good. Not good look.
You're a taco defiler.
No, he thinks you're avoiding him, Mike.
I do.
You think he's avoiding you. I think you guys have some sexual tension that needs to be dealt with.
And
needs to be released.
When I get that feeling, I won't say.
And again, I want to say thanks to Eric K for trying to turn all the names green in my chat. If you guys go to the top chat, turn it to live chat, and accept the gift, please. Let's see. Scrolling. Seeing if there's any supers that are here that are Tom related.
Well, I'll stick around for a minute because I sent you this and I can't just dump it on you.
Oh, did you? Are you whipping it out, or do I have to whip it out?
Well, if you want me to, I can whip it out.
No, I'm talking about the thing you sent.
You might have some ladies screaming and hollering.
Ladies! Oh, sorry.
Here we
Did I
go.
sound like
Whip
Paul
it out.
Lynn there? I think I sound like Paul Lynn.
Here we go. See? Why did he scream? What the fuck?
I don't know.
The ladies just all kind of looked at it like, oh, well, whatever. Okay, well, you're this Netflix guru guy, right?
The guru.
We've got a statement about the Netflix.
Oh boy! All right. Well, let's look at the statement.
Well, this is coming from a Puck article, and I thought you'd find this interesting. Culture,
Yeah, Puck. They do great stuff
up
over
your
there.
alley here. CEO David Zaslav has said, and as Sony's Tony Vincicara, how do you say his name? Vincicara? I think that's how you say it. Noted today at an investor conference, but that goes against Hastings' mantra of simplicity for. And this is about binge model, by the way.
Right.
Of simplicity for the customer. A Netflix original is available only on Netflix forever. We'll see how long that lasts.
That's
Second, the binge model goes away, right? It's not a model that makes a lot of sense, Nathanson told me. Netflix customers may like the choice to watch all the episodes at once for every show, but they'd also like the service to cost $1 a month and deliver butterscotch ice cream Sundays. They laughed, I'm sure, like a bunch of assholes. And that's not a viable long-term business. Netflix says there's no hard evidence that week-to-week episodes reduce subscriber churn. That's the part I thought you'd find interesting. But the next Netflix churn rate has been inching higher as it is now the only streamer with a default all-at-once strategy.
Yep.
The others mix and match with an emphasis on drawing out seasons to keep customers subscribed. In a competitive landscape, that's smart. Netflix has experimented with dual tranches for Ozark and Stranger Things, and notice they didn't mention Motu. And reality competitions such as the upcoming The Mole reboot. Will drop episodes in bunches, but for the most part, Hastings has seemed unwilling to pivot off the binge model because he hasn't needed or wanted it to. Now it appears he does. So what's your take on that, Culture, since you're somebody who's kind of into a lot of this stuff here on the YouTubers?
Well, the Nathanson he's referring to is an analyst at one of the big, the big firms that does business analysis. And that's, while funny, obviously for the chuckle, is entirely accurate. I have a feeling that Netflix is going to change their model. I also believe that based on what Zaslav is saying, that there's a decent chance that Netflix will allow its content to be shown elsewhere. I think everybody realizes they're going to have to pass content back and forth.
Like
I think
syndicated almost.
Exactly. So the farther they try to get away from linear and cinematic, the more they become linear and cinematic. And I'm sorry, we will be at the point where we're experiencing the same thing that we did over the airways, just in a model that we're paying more for it. Because consider the linear model was free and the payment was watching advertisements, and now,
Well, raise your hand if you knew that cutting the cord was going to lead to this. And I'm raising my hand. Right? It was much cheaper when it was bundled together, internet, phone, and every service you could think of, and you get HBO, Cinemax, and a few of those others. Right. That bundle was much cheaper. Now, to keep up with all this stuff, it's $500-$600. Right? So, and no, they can't. You're not going to get real numbers out of these people because they're self-policing. So there you go. I don't believe Amazon's numbers.
Oh, nobody does.
Yeah, and
nobody does.
For only one simple reason is that they're doing it themselves.
Yeah.
Well, and this is where I got upset. The moment that Nielsen was purchased by another entity, I knew things were going to be a problem, because that takes away the last independent check on numbers. Now numbers are going to be reported, but they'll be reported like financial, like assets. And those you're going to have very little transparency into them, despite the fact that they're going to need to tell these advertisers what their audiences look like. But there's no way to verify that independently, because, again, you've sold off the last thing that was independent. Yeah. It's a problem.
Well, the binge model is not working for them, and it's not working for us either. I mean, we already talked about it a little bit, but how many of us, Cobra Kai came out at what, midnight last night? And Tom's down to 5 episodes. I'm already through 7 episodes, I think.
Wow.
Actually,
And-
I've got 4 left, but yeah.
Yeah, within a week and a half, we're already gonna all be done talking about it.
Yeah. Yep.
And Pinochet's helicopter tour is returning to this real quickly for $2. Says Nobuo Uematsu, legendary Final Fantasy composer. That's true. The games have just amazing music. There's no doubt about that.
But yeah, not to step over Pinochet's super chat here.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Pinochet. But no, like Brahma's right.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to admit it, and as pissy as I would be only getting 1 episode a week, I was literally about to cancel my Netflix because they bumped the price up a little bit more again. And then I remembered, oh shit, Cobra Kai starts this month.
Yep.
But guess what? I can cancel it now next week.
Yep.
Yeah,
Instead
And
of having to sit here and wait 10 weeks.
exactly.
They're going to have a churn problem, and it's already been mounting. It's why I was pointing to trouble at Disney with Disney Plus, because you're looking at that growth slowing down, adding not millions, but 100,000 or
But
two,
yeah,
or
because like a lot of
1.2.
people right now, I was looking at my bills and I'm going, I need to cut some things in my budget here. Well, fuck, Netflix just jacked their price up to $21. I don't need that shit. I don't watch it. Fuck it. And then I remember the one fucking show I actually watch on there is on this month. So that's the only reason they held on to me for this month.
Yeah.
And it's their own fault for not stretching it out.
And Dark Shadow Logan points out something. Got a free month of Amazon Prime. Good. Because I was offered a free trial. Yeah. Well,
And this is the perfect month, and this was the perfect show to start this on, because they're actually dropping this a few months earlier than they normally would, and it's actually at a season time period. And guess what? If they'd have done it by weeks, the show would have ended about the same time they dropped the last season, so people would have gotten used to the idea of the show being a seasonal show kind of thing, I think. I could be wrong, but I think you could have done it this season by doing it that way.
Yeah, well, I think you're right, and I think somebody else that wants to speak to that is the man who just joined us, the man with the voice.
Valiant. Oh wait, let me put my sexy voice.
Yeah, do your sexy voice for Valiant.
Valiant Renegade.
There you go.
Ah, great. I just got wet. Okay.
The Valiant Renegade.
There you go.
Yeah, I have not watched any of Cobra Kai yet. I have not had time, so don't
No
say anything
spoilers. No
because
spoilers.
I plan to binge.
I can't believe Darth Vader is Freddy Krueger's father this year.
Shut up, Tom! You son of a bitch.
You realize
He's
they
lying
all
to you.
die in a
It's
hurricane
it's
on
actually
Okinawa,
Jason.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Liam says we should switch to Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could try that.
What? So binge model, my friend. Have you seen this Puck article or this excerpt from this Puck article we were referring to?
I know the one you're talking about. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I've been talking. I've had these discussions a number of times, like with Tom. About the binge models and how they work.
Pro's article today on Disney. That's another thing I want to ask you about. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. That was good today.
The video is dropping in about 3 minutes on that.
Oh,
with
sweet.
Pro.
Okay.
That's what I was doing. That's why I wasn't
right.
here. We were recording. It is going through YouTube checks right now, so it is moments away from being popped. So as far as the binge model is concerned, it is something that has been fine up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, with Netflix and Disney Plus and everybody else out there that is moving into advertising-based systems, the binge model is not going to survive, period, end of story, with rare exception. Even if they don't go week to week, they're still going to have to break it up into like, okay, we'll drop 4 episodes now. And then in 2 weeks, we'll drop 4 more, or 4 weeks.
Right.
Kind of like, look, Stranger Things season 4 was a test pattern for the ad-based tier. Make no mistake. That was a test pattern. They gave you the bulk of it up front, 9 hours, 7 episodes. Stranger Things season 4 part 1. Then they made you wait a month to get the final 2 episodes that were 4 hours or whatever the hell it was.
Right.
So they're setting that up. I think Netflix is still going to have binge models. They're going to break it up into certain shows are going to get this format, because we feel like this will work best for this. And there will be other shows that will be broken out, and they will not necessarily go weekly episodic releases, but they will be split. So, for example, I think shows like that I enjoy on Netflix, like Forged in Fire, the game shows, stuff like that. They'll probably dump those in batches because that's just good cannon fodder. It's just fun to sit there and watch late at night. You can watch a bunch of those in a row. It's a bunch of guys. It's like a bunch of amateur swordsmiths and knifesmiths go at it in a contest.
I love Forged by Fire. They're still making those?
Yeah, they just released a whole new set of episodes like 3 weeks ago.
I heard they wanted to cancel that show, but okay. Sorry.
It's too
Sorry
cheap
for jumping
not
in.
to. And you get Doug Marcaida going, it will kill.
Yeah.
So I will sit there. I will watch that for 24/7 because it's so much fun. But there will be other shows like the big headline shows, like a Stranger Things or like Cobra Kai, that will eventually gravitate. Like I think I will tell you right now, season 5 Cobra Kai, I think is the last season of Cobra Kai you will see that will come out in a binge. It's just too big for Netflix. I think by the time season 6 comes out, this time next year-ish, you will have something more akin to Stranger Things that will be split. And it might not just be 2 pieces. It might be 3 or 4. Because if I'm Netflix, that's what I'm looking at. And if you notice, Netflix is looking right now, when Disney Plus announced that they were going to their ad-based model December 8th, which was later than I anticipated. I thought it was going to be about a month or 2 sooner.
They thought they were doing it for June. Yeah.
No, I didn't think June. I thought October, November, because that would coincide with the beginning of their new fiscal year for 23. But they pushed it back to December 8th.
Oh.
I thought they might try to bring it in for Andor, but they didn't. Now there's talk that Netflix is going to up what they do with their ad-based tier. Like, I think they're trying to jump Disney's bones on this one. They're trying to come in earlier than December 8th now. They've pushed it up.
Oh, I know. I saw.
So I think that's kind of giving you kind of a warning shot. Now, that being said, that is a little bit of what was discussed in the video that's about to release any moment with me and Pro. We'll be talking about it more Sunday afternoon on the live show. In that article, some stuff that wasn't even in that article that we'll be talking Sunday. But one of the things that I mentioned in there, what people have to understand, and this is why Netflix is concerned. If you look at the Nielsen charts right now, Netflix owns the whole damn thing. So you're wondering, why would Netflix be concerned about Disney that barely shows up on the Nielsen charts, like ever? Like they might have 1 or 2 things that pop up there in the top 10, but otherwise Netflix completely dominates streaming. There's not even a close second. Nothing on Disney can compete with Netflix. Nothing. The issue is that Disney still has, and this is what people forget, Disney still has the long-term, and we're talking decades worth of relationships with the advertisers that Netflix needs because of their linear content, because of things like ESPN, Live Sports, ABC, everything else that's out there, all the cable channels they own. And I promise you right now, the reason that Disney's going to be so powerful with advertising on Disney Plus is because they're going to be bundling these ad sales. So you want to buy some stuff on ESPN, you want to buy some stuff on Monday Night Football, you got to buy a couple ads on Disney Plus.
Yep.
They're going to bundle this stuff up. And Disney, even though they cannot compete in terms of streaming eyeballs and watch time with Netflix, they will absolutely, or they can absolutely decimate them on the advertising draw because of the relationships they've already had for such a long time.
Yep.
They will clean house. So Netflix is worried they have to kind of try to jump Disney's gun on this and get in sooner to start cajoling. I mean, don't get me wrong. The advertisers, they want to get on Netflix, but they don't have the relationships anywhere like a tenth of it that Disney does.
But Disney is giving up a year to Netflix.
Giving up a year?
Yeah, in time. Netflix will have ad tier for a year before Disney's is available.
Disney's ad tier is coming out in like 3 months.
Is it really?
December 8th.
Huh. Okay,
Yeah.
so they're only giving up a month. All right.
Well, Netflix hadn't even, when Disney announced that they were doing December 8th of this year for their ad-based tier, Netflix had not set a date yet. So they said it was coming, but they had not announced a date. Disney announced a date. Now Netflix is coming in and saying, maybe we're gonna pull the trigger sooner. So Netflix might actually blow an ad tier in November just to try to jump that shark. Yeah,
that makes sense
it's definitely coming before the end of the year. I mean, it's all done.
Well,
It's done.
Netflix says they are going forward on November 1st with their ad tier.
Well, there you go. I hadn't heard a date yet, but I know they were going to try to jump Disney.
Yeah, and they did, because they had originally announced that they were going to try at the beginning of 2023. I don't know when does Netflix's fiscal year start? I don't know. Is it November?
I think Netflix's fiscal year is the same as calendar. I don't think that they run a different fiscal year. I mean, if they run a different fiscal year, it's always based on a calendar quarter.
Right.
So it would either be January 1st, April 1st, July 1st, or October 1st.
Right.
Calendar quarter entry points, right? Those are the same as potential fiscal year start points. So Disney's fiscal year begins October 1st every year at the first day of the third calendar, or excuse me, the fourth calendar quarter.
And that's why the annual meeting is always the most fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, there you go, guys.
Netflix is huge success though.
Oh, really? How many?
Netflix makes me so happy.
I finally have some good news for Russians who finally got this. There's good news and there's bad news about Spider-Man.
Did they get the
Come
dog
Home.
and puppy show?
No, but we got Spider-Man No Come Home. Only here, sometimes in Russia, the government likes to cut some things out of movies before they put them on theaters. This time, we did not get the Spider-Man No Come Home More Fun edition. It is the No Fun edition. The government has seemed to cut out all the good stuff and only left the crap. So as usual, we're getting screwed by government. What is this? God damn it, Putin.
Did we ever find out what happened to dog and puppy at In and All Dogs Go Heaven? Did dog go heaven?
But I'm hearing from good source that he went to heaven. This is internet.
Maybe they have prequel Spider-Man No Come Home. Maybe
Valiant,
dog go heaven and Spider-Man No Come Home.
Valiant Renegade sounds strangely racist Asian.
Yes, very much so. I'm not sure where he's from.
I don't know.
The Spider-Man No Fun edition is out now in Russia for all the Russians to enjoy. So it's 10 minutes long.
Oh, man.
Tom can do a Russian accent as Kermit the Frog, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard in a moment.
Yeah. Russian,
we are liking Kermit the
Frog.
Frog
Been a weird struggle. Like, I can do so many different accents and voices, but Russian, for whatever reason, I never could quite pin down.
Hello, comrade, I am Kermit the Frog. See, I can do very good Kermit impression, yes.
I thought that was.
I can only do. I'm sorry. I can only do one, and that's asshole. That's the only kind of voice that I do. No, just me. Myself, so.
With that, though, I think I'm going to check out. Congratulations, Culture, though, on 100 episodes.
Hey, it's
Bud Martin's hilarious.
100. There we go. From deep south of Russia.
He's from South Russia. I am more from the Bronx of Russia.
Valiant Renegade is deep south of Russia. That's right. There you go.
Something like that. Yeah. Speaking of deep south, good luck on that new ride in Disney, because that doesn't look a goddamn thing like New Orleans or anything.
Come on! It's got trees. It's got water. It's got people drowning. It's New Orleans.
Wait, there isn't a big mine that they're doing.
No.
I love that. I loved it when you guys
they modeled it after when I was told what it was supposed to be modeled after, I about fell out of my chair. It's supposed to be the salt mine on Avery Island, which is basically if you've ever seen the salt mine at Avery Island, which is where Tabasco comes from, folks, it's about 2 hours away from New Orleans, roughly. It's not anywhere close to New Orleans. It doesn't look anything like the mountain, the big giant red clay mountain that they have. It's kind of like a good Saturday night. It's a gentle hump, okay? And it doesn't look anything like what they have in that ride. It's just it just looks ridiculous.
If you've ever seen a salt mine, they don't look like that. They don't look like that. That's not how you get salt.
No, it's a very gentle hump in the land in Avery Island, and it's covered in grass. It's a big, giant green grass. I mean, like, you could drive past it and almost not notice it, kind of thing. So
Unbelievable. But Larry is here with a name so nice you say it twice. Says, somebody say out our name. It's talking about moose and squirrel.
Moose and squirrel in house.
Always moose and squirrel.
We are going to get them. One of these days, we are getting them.
Let's see. Snowdub says, hey, Burt Reynolds played the dog in Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yes, it was with the Burt Reynolds. It was with the bandits. I like the bandit in the movie.
I'm so old, I can remember when Dom DeLuise was allowed to make gay jokes in movies.
Oh, God,
like
yes.
Harsh gay jokes, like Blazing Saddles gay jokes.
Oh, dude.
And it was hilarious.
I watched the other night, because I will go down the rabbit hole on YouTube sometimes. I watched
because Dom DeLuise was gay, folks, for those that don't know.
Yeah.
Very,
I
very
watched
gay.
Dom.
He was. He's got tons of kids.
Yeah. Well, Hollywood.
That Tom, that never stops anybody.
Yeah.
No,
I know this,
Jackson
but
had
I never
kids.
thought he was gay. That's the first time.
It didn't stop Rock Hudson.
I always thought he was. I thought he had that gay. Yeah.
Dom. Anyway, Dom was on Carson with Rodney Dangerfield, and Dangerfield like got on a roll like he does, or like he did, and Dom DeLuise just for like 10 minutes straight lost his mind laughing. It was so funny. And Johnny didn't know what to do. I mean, he would try to like redirect, but you know how Dangerfield is. The minute Johnny asks a question, Dangerfield launches into another bit. Just
I guess Valiant is right.
What happened?
He is bi or gay. That's true. But he does have a couple
I remember
kids.
that. I mean, he was always. I mean, he might have had kids, but I mean, that doesn't.
Yeah.
He was there. And look, nobody cared back then. I mean, it's just
Texas has a whorehouse in it.
Wow, it's easy to impersonate Brandon meeting the Pope. Whoa, hey now, that's a far joke. Yeah, Hollywood gay. Yeah, I think I said that out loud actually. Anyway, hi everybody. I just want to say thanks to you guys for joining me. I can't believe, again, 100 Fridays. I've often said that I didn't anticipate being even on YouTube as long as I've been so far, but it's all thanks to all of you.
We tolerate you.
Yeah, we're still suffering it every day.
Thanks. Wow. Yeah, and look at this man. This guy over here. His name's Valiant Renegade. He's over 12K subs, ladies and gentlemen. He is
Congratulations.
He's on his way to 13, I think, very soon. Yeah, just killing it.
There.
Yeah, we got you're hanging out with Pro all the time, and I'm telling you that Park Place is a great place to get information now. They're doing a great job over there. So.
Oh yeah, great guy. We get along really well. I mean, it was just kind of one of those things I never expected. I can't remember. It was probably back in February, maybe, or this year. He kind of reached out via email, and it literally went like this. Hey, the staff and I over there really enjoying your videos. Keep it up. I'll keep you posted if I hear anything. And I said, not really much of a rumor channel. I think Doomcock does a great job with that when it comes to Star Wars and stuff like that. So keep that in his wheelhouse. But we started talking, and Pro comes from very much a very business-oriented background, as I do. Yeah. And we started having a lot of just great phone conversations. I mean, 30 minutes, an hour, hour and a half at a time. And finally was like, hey, come do a video one time. And that's kind of where it started. It's just kind of been there ever since. We just got along really, really well. And it's been fun. I mean, that's the fun part of YouTube, is making good friends, like people on this panel, and just having a good time and talking about the stuff you like.
Yeah.
Yes, good friends and people like culture.
Yeah.
That's not very nice.
He kind of puts you in the B tier.
I
mean,
wow.
to be fair, my show was created because I was pitching the show that it is to some YouTuber because he's doing gaming and he wanted to do something with movies. And I was like, can we do stuff? And he said, well, sure, just pitch me a show. I pitched him the show. And he's like, that's okay, but can we sit on it for like 6 months? I was like, okay. And I have my good friend, and we kind of talked about it. And we said, well, why don't we make a pilot and then we'll pitch it to him as a pilot so he can see it visually, not just on a page. We did the pilot, and it was like our first show was Blazing Saddles, which is fucking great.
Great film.
You know, start off with a bang. And then
where are the white women at?
Where are the white women at? Anyway, we didn't intend on continuing. And then as we discussed, like, we kind of like hanging around on a Saturday evening. It's my Saturday evening. It's like, why don't we just do another one and then another one? And then we said, well, fuck it. Let's just do it by ourselves. We don't need anybody. Let's just go. And we've been having so much fun. It's like we want an audience, but we technically don't need an audience, and we don't need a reason to just. We set a movie, we watch it, and we just fucking enjoy ourselves talking about it.
And I think that's the trick, is just being able to have a conversation with a group of folks that, you know, it can go forever. I'm always amazed when we go 3 hours talking about nothing. I feel like we're Seinfeld in a way on YouTube at times, but
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Pinochet's helicopter tours for $5 says, no matter what anyone says, this is wise, by the way. Gamergate was about truth in advertising, period. But it was also the blueprint corporations would use to insulate criticism. Yeah. That's well stated, my friend. Very insightful, astute.
Same thing with Comics Gate and all the other gates too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's patterned, and that's why they keep using the same nomenclature. You know, something gate.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me tell you, you start directing some gates at them, and things will change. But the Jack of all casuals for $9.99 says, "Happy 100 episodes, Culture. Here's to another 100 more and beyond. Cheers! Thank you for the super chat, and it's great to see you, Jack. Hope everything's going well, my friend." OC Dobbins is here. We've got some other folks that dropped in. Siege. We got Matt G promoting everybody. Good job. I've had a great time. We've got to wind down. I'm going to show some memes that Toxic Man Flu has decided are important.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
There you go. Happy birthday, little Brahma. Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
Airplane.
Such a great one.
Great movie.
That was so good. There was so many of those, right? The jokes in that film were just so good. And of course, Nick just.
Oh, I thought you meant there were so many grown men that Brahma's seen naked. Going in a totally different area.
So many
cocks. All right, yeah.
Nobody knows the testicles
I've seen. Well, they never showed Otto's junk in that movie, but he did get a BJ at the end.
That's true. He did.
Yep. Yeah.
That was a very weird. Yeah, there were some moments in there you can't do. You can't do that. $2 from Snowdub says $100, 100 likes, 100 watching. Perfect. Thank you for observing that, Snowdub, and thank you for being here, my friend. Can't wait to hang out with you soon. And just, gosh, I feel like it's like 24 hours hanging out. And then, of course, the Common Nerd for $10. Thank you, my friend. Says, happy 100, Culture. Here's to the next 100. Thank you, my friend. Guys, check out Snowdub and the Common Nerd. Both of these gentlemen have great channels. They do wonderful things, and I like to hang out with both of them. So there you go. On that note, we got to wind down. So I'm going to let Valiant, since Valiant joined us after like slaving away on a video. Valiant, tell people about the video you want them to go watch.
Well, I'm looking at the other screen right now. I am still waiting for YouTube to conclude its checking right now. My plan was to have it released by 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 Eastern. So we're 5 minutes away from that. So hopefully it can get done with the checks in the next 5 minutes and I can punch it out. But
right.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, that Park Place WDW Pro put out an article earlier today, and they got some news from Bob Iger, who just joined us. No, I'm kidding.
Who just joined us. That's right.
Yeah. No, they got some news from one of Pro's longtime established sources connected to Marvel, and discussing a lot of the things that he and I have been talking about with a little bit more inside baseball information. There's some things that didn't make it to that article. We will be having a more in-depth conversation Sunday afternoon on Renegade Online on the live show at 5 p.m. Central. Basically, not long after your show concludes on Sunday. Which, by the way, I've been getting used to, just so everybody here, I've been getting used to this whole YouTube redirect thing, this new deal.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah, it is. So, like, I have added Midnight's Edge. Yep. I have added CultureCasino and all this to my allowed redirects.
I've done that too.
So I would. Okay, I was going to ask you guys while we're here, and I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Please do the same for me.
Yeah.
So that I can. If you add my name, I can redirect you. Like if you don't add my name, if you don't add Valiant Renegade to Midnight's Edge or CultureCasino, then when I'm done with a video or a live show, I can't then redirect it. Like if you guys are live, like, okay, hey, we're wrapping up here. Culture's live. Go over and watch. I can say go over and watch Culture, but if you allow me to do it, I can then shoot my audience to you. So
you have to show me how to do that. I have no idea how that works.
Yeah.
It's in YouTube Studio in channel customization. It's really sweet. It worked. I did it a couple of weeks ago for when Mary had her birthday stream, and I finished up a chat, and I'm like, okay, let's see if this works, and I sent it, and then like all of a sudden 150 people showed up on her live show right after I shut down. So it does work.
It's the YouTube equivalent for Twitch raids, basically.
Auto rating.
Yes. So it works great, but I've got to get all of my friends on YouTube to make sure they add me, so that if I am live streaming and they're live streaming at the same time or right when I stop, that I can send my audience to them to make that happen.
Does this require a certain size of channel?
Yeah,
Because
it does.
I'm not seeing an option yet.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. You probably.
It's all about size, Brahma. It's all about size.
I maybe it's a monetization feature. I have no idea, but it's something they introduced recently. It does work. It really does work. So I want to be able to use it more with my friends on YouTube, but I just got to get them to add me to their allowed list to do that.
So if you have to be a certain size for that, it really just shows how much YouTube is trying to kill the small content creator and up and comers from there. And I would really suggest that you, if you care about the world and want to save it, that you move to Rumble and tell YouTube to go fly a kite.
I don't know what their cutoff is. I mean, look, let's be honest. I mean, I'm 12,500
YouTube doesn't
subs.
know. Yeah.
I'm a little nothing nobody on YouTube. I'm not even on the radar. I mean, even guys like Nerdrotic, I mean, they're kind of just getting into the radar zone. Believe it or not, even with 500,000 subscribers.
Well, I don't think anyone should be sending anything to this Valiant Renegade guy or from him, because he hasn't said a lot of nice things about me or the company that I used to run. Hi, guys. Bob Iger here.
Yeah, no, Mexican Iron Man, huh?
No, this is Bob Iger. How you doing? I heard there's a celebration going on.
What's your favorite taco, Bob?
Well, that would be the kind of tacos. Diversity tacos are good. I love diversity in tacos. I like the inclusion of the sour cream and the guacamole. A little inclusion of salsa. And I'm all about diversity, guys. Red and green salsa. We got to include everything. I mean, how else can we have...
You didn't even mention the rainbow corn colored taco shells.
Well, I was going to get to that, Toxic Man Flu, because...
I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
You know, our Native American peoples on whom we stomped on, on whom we built our great country with, they have that maize, corn. Guys, I'm wondering.
Maize, it's amazing. Is it maize?
We celebrated our American Indian people by taking the American Indian off of the butter, but leaving the land.
Guys, enough talk about the Native Americans.
Well, you can blame white, single, liberal women for that.
Guys, let's talk about my book, The Ride of a Lifetime, all right? I've got another one coming out soon. And I'm really counting on the support of this here fantastic...
Hey, Bob, was that Ride of the Lifetime named Brie Larson?
Wow.
Well, look,
did you make her wear socks?
Look, I'm not here to talk about how much I made Kevin pay her off for that. We're not here to talk about that right now. But we've got a new book coming out. And
hope he didn't get a foot job from that.
We want to network with you, Phantasma Menace people. You people, yeah, with all of your yippity yappity criticisms of how I ran my company. Let's just say that I don't know what this new guy is doing, but you guys,
You people?
well, yeah, you.
What do you mean, you people?
Well,
You
you
people.
consumer types. You know the what do they call you?
I thought we were undesirable now. I'm sorry. I thought we were undesirable clientele now.
Well, you
Culture,
were
real quick. I hope you don't mind. I just
Basket of
posted the link to the
deplorables?
video. It just finally dropped.
No,
I put
it's
it in the
awesome.
chat.
Fantastic. Guys, go watch Valiant's video as soon as we're done here. Valiant, you are in my redirect list, just FYI. And
cool.
If
I
anybody
usually
wants to-
stream after you, but if
Yeah,
for whatever
no,
reason
I
that
will
it's the other
absolutely
way around,
redirect.
I will.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll set the redirect up because unless you have another live stream or something that you can send yourself,
I'll just have to have Mikey
Hold it up.
sign in and do it for me.
it's easy
Yeah.
mode, bro. You can do it.
well, Valiant Renegade.
the-
Did you want to have me on as a guest and talk about my book?
You're welcome to. I mean,
Bob Iger is eager to talk
I'm
to
pretty
you.
sure. I'm pretty sure that I see you backstage, like managing my StreamYard every Sunday.
Oh, internet connection's going weak. Oh. Oh.
I mean, I don't know what I would do every Sunday without Bob Iger
Yeah.
running my show.
Me either.
This conversation is a bigger disaster than Eternals.
Yes, this is Eternal.
Oh.
Right here.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that was
hurt.
one of the last projects you greenlit, wasn't it? Oh, Bob Iger is actually.
Oh,
Oh, I should have known it was Mexican.
Oh,
Mexican
you
man
know,
all the
I had a
time.
All
feeling.
along.
Some bitch. All right.
He would have got away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
Damn those meddling kids.
Yeah, but do go check out Valiant's video. He is well informed, and let me tell you, just
Probably
invested
well
in this.
endowed.
Wow, hey, that's what ladies.
Still after 20 to 24 years. at
Hey,
this point,
now.
my wife is still very happy.
Well, hey, that's all you can ask for.
I
20
keep her
years.
drugged. So,
have you had the same mailman that whole time?
no, we've changed mailmen
Okay.
Wow.
and the milkman. And
I want to
and the
congratulate Culture on
nice
having
delivery guy.
100 shows. And how many Sunday shows have you done?
Oh my, I'd have to go back and count. Sunday was my first panel show, so
All right, so
I
probably
would-
like 200.
yeah, easily. Yeah, I think
All right,
probably
easily 250, and we finally got a Mexican on. That's awesome. Good work. Good job there, buddy.
Can't you look at
On
him?
that note,
He's a descendant of Thor. He doesn't know Mexicans exist.
Mexican Iron Man sharing something with me. What are you sharing?
Oh
Mexican
no, I
Iron?
was no. Hold on, let me stop the screen.
Is
Sorry.
that's for somebody else, right?
There-
That's
there
for
was-
later?
there
Well, I
was
was
a
trying to.
joke
I was
in
trying
there.
to. I was trying to share the
not
Bob
do it.
Iger book, but you didn't bring it up.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm terrible. What I do know this is we're gonna say goodbye to Brahma Bull.
Culture couldn't bring it up.
Say things.
Yeah, good to see everybody. Congratulations, Culture.
Thank you.
100 shows, fantastic.
That's
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do a gaming stream late night tomorrow night, and
Sweet.
then you can typically catch me on Culture's late night on Sunday, and then Comics Division stuff on Monday and Thursday. So great to see everybody. Have a fun time with FNT and wherever
All right.
wherever
Wherever
everybody
you
else
end
is
up.
going.
That's right, indeed. And now, it's a Mexican
He's
Iron
a
Man.
southern. I say he's a southern gentleman.
He is truly.
Yes,
He's
sir.
been on the Friday show, but I'm so glad he managed to cross the border onto the Sunday show.
That's
Hey,
right.
it's tough work. It used to be tougher work than it is lately. Lately, that's an open border, so come and go as you wish.
That's right.
I have a question. Can we? I want to talk to Bob and see if he can hook me up with some Chinese folks. I mean, they managed to build a wall that stands. I mean, I don't know what the problem
Oh
is.
wow!
Boom, bam. Aha! I made it funny.
Gazelle!
I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out. Congratulations, Culture. I love you. You are absolute one of my Culture Casino is absolutely one of my favorite people, one of my favorite channels, and I love all the content you do, Culture.
I love everything. I love the fact that we support each other the way that you do. I'm VR, pro. Everybody's supporting each other, and I love those things. So let's keep doing that. You guys are killing it.
I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just a fan.
That's a lie.
He says that, but he's full of shit.
Yeah,
I'm not-
Mephisto.
I'm not a YouTuber at all. I was lucky to get on the 100 one. I will feel honored. I told you that on the DMs. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
I'm the lucky one to have the Saturday afternoon show, The Real McCoy, where we literally want you to go and watch a fantastic movie that you may or may not have watched before, and just come and hang out with us and just discuss it and talk about it. Talk about movies in general. Just have a good time on a maybe some people just wake up with a hangover, grab a cup of coffee, and just join us.
Yeah, and it's a great show. You do an incredible job. Thanks for that, and hopefully I get to pop back in there once again here soon.
You know, my DMs and my door is always open, man.
You betcha. Well, everybody who's here or has been here, absent Mr. Mexican Iron Man, I'm not a YouTuber, has their channel represented in the description, including this man who almost always needs no introduction. It's Tom from Midnight's Edge, Midnight's Edge After Dark, Midnight's Edge Archives, Midnight's Edge Espanol, Mead Radio 1, Mead Radio 2.
And yet you gave him an introduction.
That's true.
He is also holding the current record for destroying one of our segments. He guessed all the posters in almost less than a minute and a half.
I think I did pretty good on the guessing.
Yeah, you did too. And Toxic did too as well.
Yeah, but
Taking
nobody.
names and fucking up games. That's right. I'm about this.
Oh, there we go. I got wet again.
Wow.
I think
for
I
being here,
squirted.
I want to buy some Cavartier.
You know what? This show devolved quickly. Tox, you want to promote anything?
That's one thing, though, I do have to say. Yeah, when it comes to like trivia things, all those things, for some reason, I hold like the record for all of our stuffs.
Yeah,
they won't have me back on Name That Tune anymore.
No. they keep
Tom
you out.
just completely fucks everything up. I know.
We should do a Trivial Pursuit game.
Yeah. He's a living Trivial Pursuit game. He destroyed Snowdubs.
Now, if it was history, I'd be fucked.
We team up, Tom. I'll get the history. You get the
even Snowdubs. That's right. I think I got the record. I don't know if I got the record. I think I do.
You used the CultureCasino rule after being eliminated. Came back and won.
I did.
Yeah.
You set yourself up for failure with that one, though, Culture.
It's fine.
I give Culture a lot of shit, but I do love Culture very, very much.
Yeah, you are my hetero life mate. Okay, we've got
3 to 4 times a week.
We've got the promotion and hype man here. He is always,
lucky.
Always
Unless
positive.
He's got a headache. Am I always positive? That's
you
bullshit.
Are. And nice to everybody.
No, I'm not. I never do mean memes about you at all.
Promote people.
Promote something.
That's what you do. Yeah.
Listen, last night Tugs was on Thursday Night Throwdown with Comics and many people on his panel. And if you haven't seen her stuff, go do it. Poor Choices with her and X-Ray Girl are great. She's doing a charity stream on her Twitch channel next Friday the 16th for the charity is getting games and board games and video games and stuff to kids out in there. So it's great. Watch the replay. It was a great show. And support Tugs and others in this community as they do some great things for children. We hear bad things about it, but doing something good for kids is great. And we're going to stomp all over your show with a member stream Sunday at 9. Okay. And Monday, Brandon Morse from Red State's going to be on the More Political Yelling at Parked Cars with many people here. And then because comics is way more diverse and inclusive than Culture Casino, Latino Slant is making a return appearance to Thursday Night Throwdown. And Kai is going to be on as well. So we're going to look at a lot of what Kai's done. So,
nice.
Thank you very much for that, Tox. I appreciate you promoting all of that and highlighting the charity stream that Tugs is doing over on Twitch. Well done. With that, we're going to end, folks. Thanks for being here. All 7 of you who are still here, I can't believe it. What a great opportunity to just say thanks for being here for the 100th show. I can't believe I've done 100 shows. I can't believe I'm going to be able to do more. We've got great things coming up, including Friday Night Tights, which may have already started, don't know, but check out this man's video, which just dropped minutes ago. Everybody have a great day. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. Until next time, bye.
Press our button as we see the in about 1 minute. Thank you.
CultureCasino hit 100 episodes. Now
I
it's
saw-
time to go.
I saw my name in the credits.
Oh my god, okay, fine. Oh my god. So annoying, just shut up! Shut up, all of you! God. Terrible.
Mexican Iron Man. Wow.
This sucks. You can all eat a bag of dicks.
Damn it, Beavis.